Sometimes you just have to say, I am done. In this video, I will share with you when to cut a guy off when you are dating or in a relationship in order to have the upper hand. Hello, my name is Greta Bereisaite. I'm dating and relationship coach for women. For the awesome high value women secrets, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I upload new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And just before, I will share with you in 6 points of how to do it, how not to do it, when is the best time to do it, when is the worst time to do it. Don't forget to take my free self-awareness test to find out are you behaving as a high value or a low value woman, which I will drop down in the video description box below. Also, as a lot of you know, I have published my book, which is called Devoted Relationships. I highly recommend it to get it. If you like my merch, goals and not the drama, you can get it on my website or in my YouTube store. So now, without further ado, then you should be cutting him off. Sometimes the only way he will respect you if you will cut him off. However, if you are married, I would not recommend you to follow this advice because it is quite bold. And if you're married, you know, there is way more that comes into the picture, and things do need to be thought through much more and be way more considered. Saying this, I would still recommend you to watch this video even if you're married, just to get a bit more of strength, just to get a bit more of a boost. So the step number 1 is then not to do it. I see now this trend, because it is kind of like a trend. I'm a queen, I'm a high value woman, etc. And what is going on? Women are getting a bit too entitled and a bit too arrogant. And in some cases, some women actually start to think that they are better than men, which is completely ridiculous, ladies, because that was never the intention. The intention is always for you to respect yourself and value yourself, not to think that you're better than somebody. That's just narcissism. However, women do take it out of context, and sometimes we start to behave so entitled that we start to cut guys off for little tiny things. So for example, maybe you confronted him for something and he didn't like your confrontation. Maybe he started to see you like you don't trust him, and the argument started to happen, and maybe nobody stopped it and it escalated, and now you kind of packed your bags and left, right? You cutting him off, right? This, I would say, is too small to cut somebody off. Arguments will happen in relationships, and if you just gonna cut a guy off whenever you're not happy with something he said or did, and if you are not happy the way he is behaving, maybe he's pulling away a little bit, maybe you start to assume things based on your own insecurities, you know, like a lot of little things kind of happen like that irritate us all the time. This is the place where you should have self-discipline and self-control and not overreact, like not go crazy. Actually cutting a guy off over something little is an example of acting crazy. If, let's say, he has strong feelings for you and you cut him off for something quite small, yes, the first time he might run after you and chase you and apologize, even if he doesn't feel like he needs to apologize. If you will continue doing it over these tiny small little things, I mean, in a while he'll get tired of chasing you, especially if he feels like he has done nothing wrong. So my point is, cutting somebody off for the things that are tiny or small or just kind of like little arguments is completely inappropriate, and it can really backfire long term. During these little arguments, which will happen, where you will get irritated or you will get angry, the best thing that works is self-discipline and self-control. And it's actually a very good way to practice that, because it's easy to have emotional control when everything is going right. When you don't like something, this is when your self-control is tested. So it's a good way to practice that, to be honest, as well. Number 2 is when it's too late to cut him off. In a way, I mean, it's not too late, you should still do it, but it's when things get too big. So these are kind of like two extremes. Like some ladies do it when things are too small, and some ladies do it when things like really go out of hand. So we let these little things pile up, pile up, pile up, pile up. We ignore, and when it's out of the blue, boom, he cheated on you, or something else really, really bad happened. And now you are cutting him off, right? And yes, you should, let a guy go if he's cheated on you. However, this topic still needs to be discussed more, because different situations might need a different action and reaction. But my point in this video is that you waited for too long, that it reached that point, that he even went as far as disrespecting you to the most extreme by, let's say, cheating on you, right? In other words, what's happening here, you waited it a bit too late if he dared to cross the boundary that far. Number 3, when is the right time to do it? The right time to do it is when you feel like that the disrespect towards you is escalating. Maybe he starts to play too many little games. Maybe you ignore his games or don't react, or you think it's gonna pass. He just keeps poking you and playing them. Saying that it also depends on the game. If he's just teasing you, that's one thing, but if he's actually doing something like no contact for a week because he wants you to chase him, well, then this would be something like where you set in a boundary and say, okay, I am done. This is not a relationship. This is completely ridiculous. I'm not in this to play games. Right? So when you kind of cut a guy off like right there in the middle, you feel like the disrespect is starting to escalate, but it has not come to the point where he completely crossed all your boundaries. It's somewhere like that's insanely close to that line. I would say this is the right time to do it. Number 4 now, why is it good to do it? It's good to do it because sometimes we have to remind men that we can't walk all over us, and that we need to respect and value us if we want to stick around. So by cutting him off when you feel like disrespect is escalating, you are showing self-respect, self-value, and self-worth. Therefore, he'll definitely take a note of that, and he will start to respect and value you too, even if he's gonna hate this boundary that you just set in. Ladies, men fall in love with women that they value and respect, but it's up to us to show them our limits. Number 5, don't do it with the wrong intention. Never dump a guy for the sake of, okay, I will dump him so he knows that I value and respect myself. Therefore, he will chase me and will prove himself to me, right? This is always the wrong intention to have, because the possibility that he may not come after you and that he may not chase or pursue you or will try to improve himself is always there. So telling a guy I am done, you are always taking a risk. In fact, I would say only tell a guy you are done when you feel like it's getting out of hand, like it's too much, like he's not treating you right. You're ready to let it go and keep your options for someone better. This is always the only intention to have when you are telling to a guy, I am done. Even though sometimes I am done is just a boundary, and you have this big feeling or intuition that he will come after you, try to make this work, still it's safer to look at it not as a boundary, but as I am done and I'm walking away because this is not good enough for me. And then if he is coming after you, is proving himself to you, etc., well, then it's a different type of situation that needs to be handled in a different way. Just a quick tip, ladies. If he really, really disrespected you, don't take him back just like that. Date him a bit and see, has he changed? Is he treating you differently? Because he's been disrespecting you over time, and it wasn't just one thing, and you're taking him back just like that, the possibility that he will be walking all over you again is very big. So it makes more sense to actually date him and see, is he changing his behavior towards you? And then you decide, is it good enough for you to get back into that relationship or not? And here comes the number 6, and this is a true story, and it's a bit of a disaster example. This is definitely what not to do. So I was celebrating New Year's with one of my other coaches. We celebrated together, and just in front of us this whole scenario happened. So this lady was on a date with a guy. Then she started to talk with this other woman, just like, making friends talking. And I think she shared something that her boyfriend disrespects her quite a lot. This other woman was trying to be kind and gave her that high value advice. And she said, well, when my boyfriend disrespects me, I just walk away, right? And this all was happening on New Year's Eve. So we see them sitting at the table and talking, and the guy must have said something a bit off or a bit rude, and we see this lady just standing up and very dramatically like walking out on him, right? And she walks out, and he's just kind of sitting there all gutted like, oh no, what did I do? Like, but he doesn't follow her. Okay, and then like 3 minutes later she comes back, yells at him more, points fingers at him, and walks away again. And at this point he's just sitting there like all confused what is going on, but we can see that he's already has like a little grin on his face, right? So he doesn't follow her again. And when she comes back again, confronts him more why he's not following her, why he's not changing, etc., etc. And now we can see the guy is actually getting irritated by her. He starts to lose a temper. He's like, what has happened? And a big fight between the two couples happen. It was so ridiculous, but my point is, you never do that. If you walk away, you walk away and you do not look back. And as I talked before, the intention of walking away is I am done. If you're setting an intention like I'm not walking away, I'm just threatening you so you would chase and follow me, and when he doesn't chase or follow you, then you like him too, and you turn around and confront him again, and then you walk away, he doesn't chase you, turn around and you go back and confront him again. By behaving like this, you're gonna come across like a girl that has zero emotional control. You're gonna come across like completely and totally crazy. You're gonna come across extremely toxic and like the biggest loser. It is, if you're saying I am done, make sure to do it the right way. So ladies, if you liked this video, please press like. Let me know in the comments below what did you think. Join Greta's High Value Women's School, where we are all in the same boat, learning how to be women of high value and bring out the best in our guys. Check out my Instagram. My Instagram is called Ladies Relationship Coach. And for one-on-one coaching with me or a member of my team, you can book us through my website, which is called Bereisaite.com. And if you do order my book, please don't forget to leave a review. Thank you so much for watching. Kisses from Dorset. Mwah.